you guys see that? Okay. Um, Sorry, the wind's blowing in the background. So to start mine off, I went down to fermenters and increased the number of fermenters to from 4 to 5 from was that April onwards, and then to get rid of the lost sales and everything else, I lowered production to 2,000 in January, February, and then lowered it to 3,000 in March, and then kept it at 4,000 for everything else except for May and August. I put it down to 3,000, and that got rid of lost sales in in Edgar and Munich, and then for Alley Cat, I kept it at 5,000 until September, and then I dropped it to 4,000, and then dropped it to 2,000 and 1,000 in October and November and December. Um, and for Munich, I just kept it at 2,500. And then for pricing, I have Taj Mahal at 1750 for most of the year, and then I dropped it to 1,700, or not 700, $17 in September, October, November, and December. And then I dropped prices for everything in the fall. So I dropped Alley Cat to $15 in the same months, and then raised it to 18 in July and August. And I have it at 17 in the spring, and then 15.50 in the winter. And then for Munich, I kept it at $13. I tried adjusting the prices of Munich, but it kind of was tanking the uh final cost, so I just kept it as it is. And then for Edgar, I have it at $16 until June, and then 14.50 in July and August, and then I dropped it to 14 in the fall and the beginning of winter. And then I ended with 317,485 for total EBT. Audio settings.
I start. Here, I'll go while you try to figure it out. Okay. So for mine, for Taj Mahal, for like all the, first for the fermenters, I also changed it to 5. And then, so for production for Taj Mahal, I feel like it stayed pretty consistent through like all the sheets, but I dropped it to 2,500 for the first couple months, and then I raised it towards the middle, and then towards the end of the year, I went up to 4,000, so it stayed around the same. And then for Alley Cat, I also dropped towards the beginning, like before, and then I raised it for before the summer and got it up to like 8,000, and then I dropped it again towards the end. And then for the Munich, yeah. I started at like 4,000 for production and then just slowly lowered it towards the end of the year. And then for pricing, for Taj Mahal, I kept it pretty much the same, but I increased it to 18 towards the middle and then went back down to 17. And then for Alley Cat, I kept it at 1550 and then I increased it towards the middle, like Taj Mahal, and then went back down again. For Munich, I increased it at the beginning and the end, and then kept it at 13 in the middle. And for Edgar Ale, I increased it at the beginning and then went down at the end. So it was pretty much like all the same for all of them. And then I ended with 314,000.
I think for when we do the sim tomorrow, we should the for Munich, since it's such like an unknown, I think we're gonna have to like monitor that a lot heavier
Yeah.
because we'll have to kind of like make in the moment decisions of like price changing and like how much of it we're making and stuff because we don't really know like how it's gonna sell or anything like that. Can't really see the
Yeah.
charts. We'll have to, that'll be like another kind of um stressor, I guess, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then are we just we can just follow like your sheet kind of.
Yeah, sure. We
Okay.
can, yeah, I feel like that's worked. If we just have like the sheet up, it helps like
Yeah.
know when we have to like change price and all that. So yeah, I think that should be good. Just do like what we normally been doing and just
Okay.
like kind of make decisions on the fly on Munich. So
Yeah. That sounds good.
cool. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay. Bye.